Hey there everybody, how are you all doing? SHARKBELK here and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be taking a look at a spot I like to refer to as a place where mages become men. Basically, if there was ever to be a militaristic training program where they would take young, unsuspecting mages from their homes and throw them into a boot camp for months on end, this would be it, people. So, without any further ramblings, the spawn we're covering today, my friends, is known as the Mother of Scarabs Lair, which can be found in the Ankrahmun desert just here. And as for what level you want to be before hitting this place up, because I'm not a complete nutter, I'm going to recommend this spot for mages level 65 and upwards, so not to drop you guys entirely in at the deep end as it were. Though, saying that, if you want to truly challenge yourself, then by all means come here once you reach level 50 for a truly intense training session. But with that said, if you think you can handle it, then fall into line, soldier, and let's get this video started. To get to the spawn as quickly as possible, I found that it's much faster to come from the north in Darashia than it is to come from the south in Ankrahmun, but either way the end goal is still the same place, so refill wherever you like. Anyway, it's time to head to the place I showed you all earlier on the map just here. Once inside, you will then want to make your way through the cave and down a further 3 holes, which, for the most part, this is pretty easy going, as the only creatures you will find at this point are larvas, mummies, and the odd few bone beasts. So, once you've reached -4, you'll be in a place that looks like this, and now that we're finally in the right spot, let's talk about the cave itself, shall we? As the name of this spawn would already suggest, the creatures you'll be facing whilst hunting here will be that of ancient scarabs and bone beasts, with the odd few regular scarabs and necromancers thrown in also. But if you're truly wanting to get everything out of this spawn that you possibly can, I would suggest paying a quick visit to Grizzly Adams and grabbing the tasks for both Ancient Scarab and Bone Beast before coming here, that upon completing these tasks, you'll be given the opportunity to kill both bosses associated with these creatures that are also found in Ankrahmun too. And let's be real, there's nothing fun about missing out on a good bit of extra killing now, is there? Especially when the rewards for doing so are plentiful. When hunting here, because the ancient scarabs are very trigger happy with that paralysis of theirs, you'll want to keep healing yourself every step of the way, because every second spent paralyzed and moving at a snail's pace, that angry swarm of creatures chasing you gets closer and closer. And let me tell you right now, you absolutely do not want to be caught in melee by any more than one of them at any given time, as your limited health pool as a mage will soon lead you on a one-way trip straight to the temple. So definitely don't be shy with using E-rings during times like these to avoid certain death, as wasting a few pots is a damn sight better than having to buy full bless again, that's for sure. Now, as all the creatures here are weak to fire, you will no doubt want to take full advantage of this fact when coming here by using a hefty supply of great fireballs on them during your time in this place. Which, saying that, leads me to my next bit of advice I have for you guys, and that's to bring a small amount of firewalls and bombs along with you also, as neither creature will walk across those, and will definitely come in handy for you should you find yourself overwhelmed at any given time and not have enough mana for whatever reason to tank those beefy hits of theirs with Mana Shield. Now, when it comes to what gear and supplies you should be looking to bring and wear whilst at this spawn, because I've recommended this spot for mages over level 65, I chose to limit myself to only using gear found within that level range, and came up with a set that looks like this. Also, here's a look at just how many supplies I'd managed to blow through after 30 minutes of hunting at this spawn, to give you a rough idea, I guess, as to how many you should look to bring when coming here yourself. So, now's a good time to go over the loot they'll be dropping whilst here, which all in all is pretty lackluster, as for the most part neither creature have any quote-unquote big money drops. Instead, you are given what I consider to be a metric fuckton of creature products and small gems to collect instead. Though plentiful in drops they may be, regardless I'm still hard pressed to consider this spawn profitable by any means. Though the real selling point for this place was never for its money, but instead its vast amounts of potential EXP just waiting to be taken advantage of. So let's now take a moment to have a look at that side of things instead. Which, after hunting at this spawn a few times, I would manage to make on average 950k EXP an hour here with green stamina, which compared to EXP rates for other spawns around this level range is brilliant, and has a lot of potential for even higher numbers as your damage increases through level up or the use of crit imbuements. Anyway, next up, let's take a look at the profit side to the spawn. So again, after tallying up the free half-an-hour hunts that I did, I unfortunately never did quite manage to break even whilst here, which all in all is a shame, but I think the high amount of EXP the spawn yields when here definitely outweighs the low returns on the money side of things. And besides, you can always go hit up the Laguna Caverns again to make some quick cash should you get to the point where money becomes an issue. It's not a big deal. And finally, for those of you interested in the bestiary, you'll see that we would manage to kill around 185 Bone Beast and 291 Ancient Scarabs during those hunts. And so with that said, to unlock these creatures, you're probably looking at spending 2.5 hours here for a total of 65 charm points. And that, my friends, was basically the Mother of Scarabs lair in a nutshell for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and found it to be helpful in giving you a rough idea as to what to expect before coming here yourselves. It is easily the best spawning game to put you through your paces at a low level and teach you the mechanics of good player movement in an AoE hunting setting. As I said earlier, this is basically Mage Boot Camp, where boys become men. Anyway, if you guys have any suggestions on other spawns you'd like to see me cover in the near future, be sure to leave them in the comments below for me. Also, if after watching this video you do fancy giving this spawn a try for yourself, please do come back and leave a comment with how things went for you, as I'd love to hear about how much EXP you managed to get out of this place. And with that, boys and girls, I'll be back with another video real soon, but until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye bye.